Well, you know.
for fear of reprisal. I hear you. You don't want to deal with that. Well, welcome back to another. We really have no idea.
Another fantastic episode of We Really Have No Idea.
Just today's it's off the hook. Uh, just the pre-free agent feeding frenzy draft is coming. Everybody, look over there. It's DK Metcalf, right? Yeah.
You
My God.
know, poor
What?
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
what's up with that?
I mean, Tyler, there's, hey, we're gonna let Tyler Lockett go. We love the guy. We appreciate him. He's been the best ever. And as soon as they're
Yeah.
about to celebrate the career of Tyler Lockett, DK comes out and says, I want to trade. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's why I was, as I sent you that note, he's a beast and a diva, right? And there
Yeah.
you go, right? He can't not be in the spotlight for, so that kind of drama, man. Get rid of him. See
One
ya.
of my I have a we all remember the Marshawn Lynch Beast Mode run.
Yep.
There was a Beast Mode 2 run. It was against the Cardinals in Arizona. And it was, if you watch the pattern of the run, it was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Straight downtown.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. Oh,
Wow. Wow. We got it on video.
yeah. We'll see about that. So the Beast Mode 2 run, it follows the same pattern, same outcome, touchdown. And if you watch that play, there's one guy who throws like 9 blocks. That was Ricardo Lockett. He was a receiver for the Hawks for a while there, but he was mostly a special teams guy. But here's the guy. The stats that guy had was, out of the 27 catches he had, 9 of them were for touchdowns. And if
Nice.
you watch the special teams plays he was on, if there was a fair catch for the opponent, he'd still run it out and get it all the way
Yeah.
across the goal line, like he
Right.
was racing the other guys on special teams. So I kind of like the heart of the guy, but he had that thing, that DK Metcalf thing, where he was kind of soft during the play, but a tough guy after, because he'd get mad and he'd stand up and he'd throw the ball at the opponent. Okay, well, you just got a first down, but you cost us 15.
Yeah. You discussed
And
it.
DK, I'm not saying DK's soft during the play, because
Yeah.
he's pretty physical, but he does get butt hurt
Yeah.
and cost the team.
Yeah.
I saw a blurb that was, they were announcing DK, hey, you want to trade, and they were talking about his career stats to date, and they mentioned just how many penalties he had,
Yeah.
and how many yards he had cost the team, and that's the knock against him,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he's durable, he's tough, he's quick,
Yeah.
he's got good hands, but he for some reason he allows other people to get under his skin.
Yeah. That's going to
You
be
think after all
downhill.
these years
Yeah.
he would figure out a way to get that out of his system. Well, yeah, so
Apparently
DK
not.
and Tyler, and rumor is the Raiders are like, oh, hey, why don't you come talk to us? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a quantity for Pete, right? He drafted them both.
Sure. Yeah, I think Pete would probably take Tyler over DK. One for, the cost, probably get him a lot cheaper. But two, you've got a veteran, solid, professional,
Third down
that
guy.
that can lead your receiving core as you rebuild your offense.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think, and that leads me into the Pete Carroll mentality of defense and run the ball, right? And speaking of defense, my boy Max becoming the highest paid, player outside of a quarterback ever, with like $50 billion or whatever they gave him.
Yeah.
Come on.
Completely
Yeah.
resetting the market.
Yeah. Good for him. Max is the man. I'm so glad that happened, man. That is just a smart play by the Raiders. Anchor down that defense.
Yeah,
So,
and it ended up I think in a roundabout way, that ended up hurting the Bengals because they
Yeah,
were looking to. Bengals have some nice problems right now, right? I
yeah,
mean,
they
they've
do.
receivers, a running back, and Trey Hendrickson that they wanted to re-sign. They re-signed. Well, they re-signed their running back, the wide receiver, and then they tagged T. Higgins.
Yep.
They can still work out a contract with them. They clocks ticking. Well, when it came to Trey Hendrickson, they went 35 million. Dude, we just can't do it. So they told Trey, you go ahead and
Yeah, do you think?
because we can't do it. And it's funny every time I see one of these things, I think Raiders,
Yeah,
knowing that Pete's building, but yeah, Tyler,
yeah,
DK, Trey, Max, and I know the other thing about the Raiders signing um, Max Crosby like that is they did it quick. I
yeah,
mean, they didn't mess
yeah. They
around.
didn't. They didn't mess around.
They
Yeah,
got right in there and they went, "You're our guy. You're a bad mother trucker.
yep,
You're the anchor. We're going to build around you, and here's the money truck. It's going to
yeah,
pull right to your
exactly.
house."
Yeah,
The Cowboys could learn a thing or two from that.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
they drag that stuff on. I mean, all the way up until the first game of the season, and by that time they got to pay.
yeah.
The
And then,
Bengals learned
yeah,
that now. If the Bengals had signed Trey Hendrickson last week to some $25 million a year thing, they'd have been in good shape. But since Max Crosby signed for 35, the Bengals went, "Oh, we can't."
yeah. Now what do we do?
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cowboys every year. Look what CD Lamb, it was last year. Dak Prescott the year or two before. They did it to Ezekiel Elliott. They did it to another recent Amari Cooper. Who was it? And every year that Jerry's got to pay out the nose. And you got to ask yourself, is it really worth just being in the news cycle every day that you haven't got the deal done?
yeah,
Just, I don't know. So yeah, Max Crosby, good for him. There's times we got to stop rooting for laundry and start rooting for the player, right?
yeah. Exactly. I
Uh,
hear that.
but
That's pretty awesome, though. I'm really excited for Max because I still think that's it points to what Pete's going to be doing down there is rebuilding the defense, and then he'll bring in a vet quarterback uh, and then I that's my gut.
speaking of which,
Yeah,
bringing
what?
in a quarterback, Pete Carroll, Raiders, they're letting the greatest quarterback of all
I
time go.
I don't even want to talk about that in this episode. I can't believe it. I mean, hey, just remember, Gardner, there's room here. We have
Damn,
room here.
damn
Right?
straight.
Right? We
Damn.
may have to restructure your contract to be pretty much incentive based, but hey, we will sign you this week.
You
Just
got it. No
done.
doubt.
We'll do it.
No
No
doubt.
problem.
Yeah, no problem. Streamline it straight through. And you
I'll
know,
get you a background like this. No
signing
problem.
signing bonus.
Bingo. Look at that. Bingo. Yeah. Standing right there. Yep.
There's your signing bonus. Come on,
Yeah.
Gardner. Let's make this happen. Let's get our people talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of bummed me out. So they got Aiden O'Connell on their roster as a quarterback. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to wonder what Pete and
And the Goatman.
what are they going to do? Do they have a draft plan? Are they going to go grab Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or
Well, I think there's enough, I think there's enough veteran talent in the free agency pool that they can go into the draft and try to get somebody in the first, you know, 5, 6 rounds, get a quality young starter or a young quarterback, and then after the draft, bring in a vet. There's enough of them out there that I think they
You're
can make.
right. Exactly. Look,
I
we're
really
left
do.
here. We got there's some guys at the rumor. I mean, the Vikings they want to keep Darnold.
Oh yeah, why wouldn't
And
you?
I
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and it
sure.
sounds like the Steelers want to keep Fields.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones, he was on the practice squad for the Vikings
sure.
last. And then there's
I,
Russell Wilson, Jameis
yeah,
Winston, Mac Jones, Marcus Mariota.
yeah,
And there's
yeah.
plenty of Jacoby Brissett and Tyler Huntley and that kind of thing. You're right. Drew Lock. Drew Lock is playing.
You even got Jimmy Garoppolo in there. Come
That's right.
on.
The Rams say they want Garoppolo back, and he may want to stay in California. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
probably getting tired of packing his bags. I mean, I could see that. He's probably say like, dude, I just put my suitcase in storage. I don't want to do
Talk about a guy who got paid.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. The
yeah.
Niners picking him up and giving him that contract. Best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you're right. And
Well,
even some thoughts
I
out
think
there,
there's plenty, you
you know,
know.
Pete's coach Drew Lock into a. All right, Drew had a really good game for the Hawks.
Yeah,
With I think Gino was out.
sure.
Uh, oh, the Hawks. God, they also let George Fant go. Speaking of Drew Lock, George
Yeah,
Fant was one of those things we got in trade for Russell Wilson over there at the Seahawks.
yeah. So,
Uh,
we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I just think there's enough veteran quarterbacks out there that they're not all going to get snatched up before the draft.
yeah,
Everybody's thinking the same thing, right?
they're
We'll
gonna be
wait and
fine.
see. And
Yeah.
they're probably lining those deals up now of, hey, we can give you a 1 or 2 year deal and have you come in and train our new guy and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Kind of
I mean,
like you and I did.
think back. I mean, in terms of a a Pete Carroll pattern, he joined the Hawks in 2010, and that was Matt Hasselbeck's final season with the Hawks.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. And we went the next season with Tavares Jackson, and I think quarterback Jesus was the backup, Charlie Whitehurst.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're right. Pete's willing to go that 1 year with the journeyman guys. He starts to build and gets the defense and the running game put together,
Yep.
and then goes and finds the guy who can manage the game clock, which is interesting because Chip Kelly, remember his old philosophy coming out of like Oregon was run the most plays you can offensively,
Go,
run the
go.
most plays.
Yeah.
And they somebody asked him about that recently, and he went, "No, it's different now. You don't want to manage a game like that." Because I
I
thought
learned my lesson. Yeah.
Pete doesn't want to do that. Pete's like the opposite. Pete wants to
Yeah.
just grind and go down the field as
Yep.
slowly as you can.
Punch
Use
you in the
all
gut over and over
all
again.
three
Yeah.
downs, drag that clock out, have the offense on the other sideline. Gee, should we stretch again? I mean, God, we haven't been on the field in like 43 minutes.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how they put that roster together around Max Crosby and
Yeah.
Zamir White and
Uh-huh.
et al. But the Cowboys, they ought to get their crap together. Maybe they
Yeah.
should. It's funny, they're America's team, and yet they're so dysfunctional. But on the other hand, it's been nice not hearing from Jerry Jones lately.
Yeah, that's been kind of nice. I noticed. I noticed once we said hell beast a couple times.
Yeah, I
Shit
just
just
it kind of made me wonder if his health was a little.
yeah. Or maybe his lawyers were getting ready. I wasn't sure. I was
Yeah,
going to get a few phone
he
calls.
popped up recently a couple of times. I imagine we'll start seeing him here.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll call by the end of the week. I said it again. What do you think about Joey? Joey Bosa getting released. What do you think about where do you think he's going to land?
Well, the top rumors right now are that he's going to go play with his brother in
Yeah.
Santa Clara.
In 40, yeah.
Uh, question is, how many games do you think he'll play? Can he stay healthy and keep on the field for 12, 14, 17 games?
No.
Maybe he will if he doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
Yeah.
if his little brother can protect him a little bit. Well, wouldn't that be a hoot?
Yeah.
I think that's far more probable than Miles Garrett going to the Niners.
Yeah, I believe I
Yeah,
would
I
agree.
think it wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be difficult for them to get that done. Get Joey
Yeah.
over there, especially
Yeah.
if he wants to. I mean, imagine that. Imagine if that's what he wants.
Yeah, because that's pretty much going to be his last step, right? That's his last destination before his career.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think so.
Unless it's just a
And
1 year thing.
yeah, I think you give him probably a 2 year deal, 2 or 3 year
I think they're
deal.
always a 2 year deal, but really it's
He's
one.
a situational, player. I don't foresee him starting every game. I don't.
He's not the Max Crosby anymore.
No.
Yeah, he's going to come in and rotate in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna
So
put in.
the
But
Niners might be an ideal spot for him.
yeah,
I mean, you never know.
yeah,
Uh,
could
then
be.
again, oftentimes I remember back in school, you and I weren't allowed on the same project together.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes we weren't allowed on the same school together. That's true. Yeah. I could see
No,
him
no,
playing. You said
keep
the
those
Met.
guys in different classrooms.
I could see Joey playing opposite of Max too, but in the similar role where he's rotating
Yeah.
in and out. But I don't know. There are a bunch of edge rushers that are out there now. I
Well,
mean,
even
they're
like here's another name that used to just be strike fear into the hearts of going back to a Chicago. Khalil Mack. I mean,
oh yeah,
he's
sure,
available right now.
yeah,
Bobby got knocked off the board. Bobby re-signed with the Commanders for another year.
good for him.
Dan Quinn keeping him around. But yeah, a lot of edge rushers. Yeah, there's a handful of the free agency list is
Yeah,
pretty big and impressive this season, and I think come what is it? What is it? Open Sunday to Tuesday. The tampering period.
yeah, I love that.
Free agency. I think it's going to be a big. Uh, I think we're going to see a lot of news. There's just so many guys out there who are available, and there's so many teams that you know they
Yeah,
need players. I mean, that's
sure. Yeah, it's going to be
free
interesting.
agents.
It's
Who
going
do
to
we
be
got?
fun. It's going to be fun. It's something to look forward to when you start thinking about your fantasy football team. Hey, tell me this, man. Who has the most sacks in an NFL game?
In a single game,
Yeah, who has the
Derek
most?
Derek Thomas of the Kansas City Chiefs against the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah, okay.
Dave Craig. The
You knew
one
that one.
sack he didn't get
Yeah,
was the one Dave Craig slipped out of and threw the winning touchdown pass.
yep. There you go.
Fantastic game. That's an awesome question. I
Yeah.
love that question.
What team has the most sacks?
The most sacks as a team in a single game.
In a single game. Yeah.
Ooh, in a single game. Should I stick with the Chiefs? No.
You could. You could. It's the Philadelphia Eagles with 14 sacks against the Giants in 1952.
52.
Yeah.
Wow. Before they
Way
actually
back when. But 14 sacks, if you think about that,
that's
by the second quarter, the quarterback is probably like,
Sam Huff's having a
screw
smoke.
you guys, man.
That's a lot of whooping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of getting
Yeah.
whooped, man. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Let's see, Tyler. Oh, we talked about Tyler. I looked at. Did you know Tyler Locket is second all time for the Seahawks
Uh-huh.
in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns,
Yep.
behind only the great Steve Largent,
Steve
who played
Largent.
14 seasons.
Yeah. Mr. Largent.
Largent did, right? Mr.
And
Largent.
when,
Yeah.
when we had Steve Largent Day, remember that? We had
Oh
Steve
yeah.
Largent Day and he walked away.
Oh man.
Nobody came out of there was no DK Metcalf incident. There was just, yes, Mr.
Mr.
Largent.
Largent. Yes.
Front page of the Seattle Times.
We got to do a special review of that a special episode on that
The hit.
the hit. Well,
The
it's two different
the
games.
large
It's
the
two different
Largent
games.
hit.
It's the one hit down in Denver where
Yep.
Largent gets a cheap shot and has a broken molar,
Yep.
concussion, and then later in the season in Seattle, uh, that guy gets an interception. Largent gets retribution. I would love to do a breakdown
Yeah.
of that.
From
That'd be a great
Mark
episode.
Harden or Mike Harden. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then
Just
when he came,
to see little old Largent come out of nowhere and take that dude off of his feet.
because
Just oh,
back
and
then
then
back then they had the big bazooka camera, right? And so they're like,
yeah,
but then you had the one guy up at the top of the dome with the big camera, where they did like the game film and stuff
yeah,
like that. And that view is beautiful because you see Larson just like,
yeah.
like,
He's like
who's that guy? Uh-oh, here he comes.
yeah,
Mike, look out,
he's
look
like
out.
a cheetah moving in on the prey. Yeah,
You didn't
and
see it
knocked the
coming.
guy off his feet,
Yeah,
caused the
done.
fumble, and then Largent recovered the
Yep,
fumble.
yep,
Yes, just
done.
awesome. Just
Go
oh
home,
my
don't
goodness.
come back.
But yeah, Lockett. So 61 touchdowns versus 100 for Largent.
Uh-huh.
Almost 8,600 yards, 13,000 more plus for Largent, and then 661 receptions versus 819. Way to go, Tyler. And there's a
Yeah.
chance he could come back. The team said, hey,
Oh, sure.
we're
Yeah, we
cap strained,
have to
still switching
restructure.
debt. We'd love
Yeah,
to have you back though. So who knows? Love to keep Tyler around, but on the other hand, does he want to keep playing? I mean, he's building that real estate empire.
yeah, that's
He
true.
he he gave himself up a lot. well, I saw someone say that, well, he's been giving himself a lot last season, dodging the tackle. And I thought, well, he's actually been doing that for like many seasons. He's smart
Yeah,
enough to know I'm not going to get any more gutting it out here. All
yeah.
I'm going to do is take a bad hit, and then I'm not valuable to the team.
How do you
So
think
there are
Terry
times where
Rice?
you think, well, maybe he could have got another yard.
Yeah,
But on the other hand, if he keeps taking hits like that, he's going to miss a game.
yeah. How do you
So,
think Jerry Rice put all those records up? He didn't do it running into people. He did it playing smart. Yeah, he may have,
or Brett Favre, something
yeah,
Matt Hasselbeck talked about. He goes, if you watch Brett Favre throw the ball, as soon as he throws the ball, he's still moving backwards. He goes,
yeah,
I think that's how we avoided a lot of those extra hits that a lot of other quarterbacks take because they're
sure,
stepping into the ball, throwing into it, and then the
yeah,
guy comes out to get. But Favre, he
yeah,
had a way of throwing and backing up. Or even the great Jim Brown. You hear the Jim Brown talk about he'd get tackled and everybody else would get up and he'd just sit there for a second, gather himself, and then get up and walk back to the huddle. And he goes, Coach used to get on me. He goes, but hey, I know the play. I know where I'm running. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to
yeah,
get back there. I'm
yeah.
saving my energy and my body. So yeah, there's some smart guys like that, and I think Tyler Lockett's right up there with like you're talking about the Jerry Rice, Brett Favre, in terms
Yeah.
of protecting his own body, keeping himself valuable to the team. So a little more homage to Tyler there, well deserved. Jimmy Johnson retiring from Fox Sports.
Yeah, I know you're cut up about that, man. Do you sure you want to talk about that today?
I don't know. I just think, hey, good for you. Right off into the sunset. The guy, he's earned it. I like him. Just wanted to give it a mention. I didn't want to dig into it all that much. I just wanted to
Yeah,
acknowledge Jimmy
I
and
they need to take Terry with them. He needs to take Terry. I love Terry Bradshaw. Don't get me wrong, but Terry's just losing it. You know,
yeah, we
he'd
don't
be,
need to
there'd be
watch.
a broadcast going on. Terry would be over here like this, you know, and they'll be talking to him, and he'll just be like, "Oh, hey Gronk, when did you get here?" You know, and Howie feels bad for him because Howie's like,
Yeah.
I'm be like that too. Like, come on, guys.
But yeah, you're right. I love Terry too. I mean, he's
But
a character and
it's almost
funny,
time.
but I don't want to watch the guy rot on the vine. And
Yeah,
he's also having a harder time speaking.
yeah.
And
It's like Al Michaels.
I don't know if that's age because he gained all that weight back, or I don't know, but yeah, Terry, it's time for you to find a way for your exit. Do it. And then again, we said the same thing about Al Michaels, and he came back for another year. So I don't know. Well, you got to wonder. I mean, is Terry really focused on the job? And if he's not, go do something, Terry. I mean, go have
Yeah,
fun, enjoy your life, enjoy your money. Just
that's right.
and
Good
we'll
luck
miss you.
with
But
your family.
come around once in a while and remind us how to have fun because
Yeah,
that's certainly one thing he knows how to do.
that's true.
And the one thing I liked when he was up there for the was it the AFC Championship celebration on the field, and he's interviewing the people, handing out the trophy, and someone grabbed it. He went, "Oh no, I'm not giving up the microphone." Like, no, I'm not falling for that.
I ain't done yet. Yep. I still have 2 minutes. I still have
My-
2 minutes. They told me I get 4 minutes. I have two left. Leave me alone.
yeah,
Yeah,
great. Oh my gosh. But so
good.
what? Oh, but that I think you were wondering who signs first. Is that it, or were you
Well,
thinking
no, actually, it was a foot race between
you
Aaron
actually wanted
Rodgers
to
and
see?
Russell. Like
So
foot
you
race.
really want to see literally a foot race
Yeah, I
between?
want to see which one can make it from goal line to goal line.
Oh boy, because you got Aaron. He had that gimpy calf for a while. Russ did too.
Yeah, Russ has had a couple
Uh,
knee issues
but
though.
Russ, he's a little heavier.
Yeah.
Boy, Russ a little younger though. I think I'd have to put my money on Aaron. You
Yeah.
know, hate to say
So
that.
now let's spice it up a little bit. They're getting chased by,
Full pass,
they're getting chased by Max Crosby and
Miles Garrett.
and Miles Garrett. Okay, now who's going to beat him?
Is Miles
Who's
Garrett
fast?
swinging a helmet?
Yeah, who's faster? Now who's faster? Right? Yeah, yeah. The foot race of who signs first, man. I think it's too early to tell. We'll see. I
I think it's easier to sign Russ than it is Aaron. I think uh, Aaron comes with so much baggage, and
Yeah,
It's because you're gonna have to sign up for the Aaron show. I think the Russ Wilson show is easier to deal with because at this stage in his career, it's just adorable.
Yeah.
Mister whatever he calls himself. Okay,
Yeah.
Russ, but with Aaron, it's all provocateur and stuff. I think it's funny. Here's something I think is, well, I think I brought this up before. Wouldn't it be funny if Aaron Rodgers went to the Raiders, but then Devontae Adams, because he's a free agent, the Jets cut him. They went, we're not going to pay you
Yeah.
30 million. If Devontae Adams just went right back to the Raiders too, after they traded him away for
Yeah.
a fourth round pick or whatever it was, would it be funny if he just ended up right back there? But turns out the Packers are the front runner to get Devontae Adams back.
Nice.
Which, when you think about that, that's kind of their missing. I mean, they've got a couple of receivers, Jare Alexander, Romeo Dobbs. If
Yeah.
you're drafting, do those guys come to mind as your top wide receiver?
Yeah.
Probably not. Maybe your number two, number three.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams does.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, you got Jordan Love, their running back, Josh Jacobs,
Yep.
and Devontae Adams. You got your three guys now. You
Uh-huh.
got your top scorers. And boy, the NFC North still looks like a, a pretty powerful division, and especially if the Bears can get it together with their new
Yeah.
coach.
I thought that would be a good spot for
Coop
Sorry.
could still
Coop.
be.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
Devontae Adams and Cooper Cup. I
Yeah.
mean,
That'd be
'cause
fantastic. I
Devontae's
mean,
going to try to get top money, but Cooper's going to get second tier money.
second tier money. But I think Cooper's more of the the mindset of I understand that I don't want top money because then I'm not going to have a top team around me. I spread it around, right? Second
But
tier money, if you think about it, you're still getting $10 million a year,
I
right?
think Coop already has, though. He's already a Super Bowl champion and MVP.
Uh-huh.
You never know. Maybe he just wants to get paid while he still can.
That could be it too. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should have him on the show and
We
pick his
should
brain
ask him.
on that.
We
Yeah,
should ask him, right?
we'll have the Cooper. We're in our candid 4 minute segment here. Rapid.
Yeah.
fire. Don't
Yeah.
think just right. Just
Yeah. You want to pick up the tab now, or do you want us to give you a bunch of shit? Yeah.
There's a reason we have these at the Sheridan Hotel
Yeah.
Restaurant and Lounge. The guest always pays. Didn't your agent tell you that?
Yeah, it always pays. Well, hey, as we are wrapping things up with our podcast here, let's talk about our upcoming parallel podcast of reviewing sports movies.
Oh yeah, and
Let's
I want to
talk.
start with some football movies.
Let's start with some
Yeah,
football.
I love that idea. I'm hoping we can just have some fun with it.
Yeah,
I love the idea of you and I independently watching a movie. We'll cover it. Kind of talk about the highlights, the high points, the plot, the subplot. Uh,
whoa.
but review it in our inimitable way. I think
I,
I think we can have a lot of fun with that.
I think we could even open up the lines and bring in some callers to give us their input,
I was going to say, I think input would be great.
or they can leave the comments below, or our listener
That's what I'm
can
getting
leave
at.
the comment
So
below.
I think
Yeah,
you and I were discussing
the
possible
replacement.
first movies to do. You said you wanted to do a comedy.
Yeah,
I was stuck in football. You proposed a few movies that were just sports, and I went, oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then
Uh,
I thought about that. I thought, let's keep it light, like Caddyshack or Slapshot, because those are fabulous sports-backed movies, right? And then you were like, hey, what about sticking with football? And I think, I love Gene Hackman. He was one of my favorite actors. He just passed. The Replacements, right?
I'm in. You got it.
2000, came out 2000, Keanu Reeves. I mean, that was a pretty good movie.
And it was funny as hell.
Yes. So I think, what do you think?
I'm happy to watch the replacements again,
Yeah. Oh God. Again.
probably for the
Yeah. Yes.
20th time, to get it fresh in my mind and take some notes and get back together and
Yeah.
share our impressions of the movie, and
Yeah, there you
I
go.
love it. There, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's just, gosh, I got to find the time to do it. And I think with those, do we want to limit these to like another like 30-minute like review? Because we could get out of
Sure.
hand, you and
Oh,
I.
we could be here all day.
And I'm hoping I can sneak in some clips from the movie, as I cite as we talk about certain things, and you know, not have big theater come after us or whatever it is.
We have to pay
We're
some.
just a hodunk podcast. Nobody's really.
Do we have to pay someone?
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, we can. We got a budget. We have like $8 left.
this is for
Oh, that's
garden.
already that's already spoken for.
For
We're
garden.
gonna,
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is where the
yeah.
budget went.
I could call Keanu. I mean, chances are he'd take my call. He's a pretty straightforward guy, and just say, "Hey, man, can we show a couple pictures?"
I found a dirty quarter on the driveway.
Oh,
Could put that in the.
all right,
Kitty.
all
Anyway,
right
yeah,
then.
replacements. You got it.
Okay, the replacements. That one, the review will be coming up. Will be
Anything
forthcoming.
else? So is there anything we didn't cover?
Oh, I don't know. We probably missed a lot.
I think we got the bullet points. I think, let me look over here.
I think next week
So
we
it's
definitely need to talk about the tampering, right? Yeah, we got to get into that. I just
yeah,
love that rule. Just hey, go ahead. Go
well,
ahead. We know you're going to do it.
you know,
Just go ahead and do it.
it's just they finally just gave up and went,
It's like the amnesty box.
you're gonna do it anyway, so we might as well just make it part of the rules.
Yeah,
But when you also, but yeah, okay, I was gonna go into it, but I'll save it.
let it
Um,
go.
but also getting into the size of the tag numbers, it might be interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah,
If
because
you're going to tag somebody, man, you got to make it worth it. Because
well,
if you're,
I mean, you think about. Remember last week we talked about top earners in the history of the NFL, and Kirk Cousins, I think, was in the top 10.
yeah,
All the more amazing when you think about it. He was a seventh round pick. He played out the entire 4 years of his rookie deal at that rookie wage scale.
yeah,
But the Washington Commanders were so just as the Dan Snyder Commanders, so dysfunctional, they tagged him because they couldn't get a deal done, which was big money. Then they tagged him again, which is even bigger money. I mean, you
yeah,
got no security because it's only for a year, but it's a huge
yeah.
contract.
It's all guaranteed money. What are you going to do?
And then
I've
they
tagged
couldn't take him again because if they tagged him again, it would have been like 96 million a year, and no team can carry that on the salary cap. So that's when the Vikings gave him a huge deal,
Yep,
and he played out that contract.
yep,
And then the Vikings went, "Hey, we'll give you guaranteed money over here, Mister Busted Achilles." And so he's still there, and he's going to be a highly paid backup this year if Michael Penix works out.
yeah.
So good for Kurt. But it's
Pretty
a
awesome.
strange guy to be earning that much money. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but when you go through your list of top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now, or even in the past few years, is Kirk Cousins on the list?
Yeah.
I mean, is he top 20? Yeah, probably, sure. But top 10? Right now you got to think what the
Yeah.
likes, and I'm not going to say his name. The guy from
Thank-
Kansas City,
I think I appreciate that.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I
Sure.
mean, who else you got?
Yeah.
Right, that's a top guy right now. And they're all in the AFC. That's wild. Yeah,
Well, you just got this free agent. His name's Gardner. You know,
Gardner. Well, that's
if you're
Gardner
not looking
Minshew.
at it,
Gardner Minshew is the cherry on the sundae. It's hard to bring him up because you talk about the sundae,
yeah,
the ice cream and the bananas and the nuts and the
sure.
whipped cream and all that. You don't think about the cherry, but when
I
you
don't I don't
imagine
know
the
where
sundae,
you're going with
it's
this.
right on
I
top.
really don't. I really don't know where you're going with this. You leave your comments below. Remember, we really have no idea.
We had no
We
idea,
really, no idea.
other than the
And
fact that
we'll see you next week. Got a couple of great podcasts coming up, but look for that movie review. It's going to be awesome.
absolutely the movie reviews, the new podcasts.
Yeah. Have
Peace,
fun.
love.
Leave
Leave a
your
comment,
comments,
like,
subscribe.
subscribe. Tell both your friends.
There you go.
All right, brother.
Be well. Thanks.